want to restrict the unwanted, unrelated data or invalid data into the your database, then you have to go with the constraints, right? Sir, no. Yeah. Can anybody tell me what all the different types of constraints we are having? Different types of constraints. Mm. Yeah, not, not null, unique, and we are having check constraint. Default is not the constraint. Default is the assigning the default value to the particular field. If we are giving value, it will take that one. Otherwise, it will take the default value. Okay. So I have share. I'm sharing my screen. You are able to see my screen, right? Yeah. Yesterday we have discussed not null and unique. Can anybody tell me what is not null? That is not null. That is different. Okay. If you want to fetch, yeah, means yeah, it should not allow any null values to the particular field. If you are defining at the table level, sorry, column level, you, system will not allow to insert the null values to the particular field. Okay. If you are inserting the record means with value as null, you will get the error as cannot insert null values to the particular. Okay. This means internally it will allow duplicates and all, but won't allow the null values. Clear? Next, what is unique constraint? Yes, whatever values you are inserting, all the values should be distinct. Okay, it won't allow any duplicates. Okay, if you are inserting the duplicate values to the particular field, you will get the unique constraint violation error. Okay, so here, yeah, yeah, both are same only, but distinct keyword will be using in the select statement. Okay, select distinct of column names from table, like that. If you are using means, it will select only unique values in the table. Okay, here we are discussing constraint. Okay, yeah, unique is one type of constraint. Okay, this will define at the time of table creation only. Okay. Yes, yeah, same thing only. This is also one of the constraint. Okay, it won't allow any duplicates, but it will allow null values. Okay, if you are creating the unique constraint, internally it will creates the what it will create internally. It will create the index. Yes or no? Yesterday I shown right. Internally it will creates the one unique binary tree index. Okay. Next, what is check constraint? If you want to restrict any field limit values for the particular field, okay, either you should be giving some uppercase all the things, okay, or you should be give some additional values, or okay, like that. If you want to add anything, okay, to the particular field values at the time of table creation only means, you can go with the check constraint. Of course, you can restrict the values with the trigger as well, but it will take some time. Internally, it will perform so many things. But if you are defining at table level, the table definition means it will be easy to restrict the values and all. Okay, how many ways we can create the constraints? We can create at column level and table level. Sir, no. If you want to restrict, okay, if you want to apply only on one column, then you will go with the column level. If you want to apply on multiple columns, or if you want to define a table level, means you can define after defining your columns and all. After that you have to specify your constraint and you have to specify your conditions. Okay, except not null condition, you can be able to create the constraints at table level for all the constraints except not null. Clear? Yeah. Now, next, anybody tell me what is primary key? Yes, combination of not null plus unique means it won't allow duplicates and also won't allow null values as well. Okay. So anyway, it is internally it is creating a unique constraint. So internally, what will happen? Definitely, one unique binary index will be created. Yes or no? Your searching mechanism will be very fast if you are defining the primary keys. Okay, so if you want to create the primary keys on multiple columns as a combination, then how you have to do? You have to go with table level constraint. Okay, so for that you need to specify your table names or column names and all. After that you have to specify that constraint type and you need to specify your column names. Clear? Anybody have any doubts in the primary key? Yesterday, we also discussed about references key, not discussed foreign key. References key we can define at column level, foreign key we can define at table level. Okay, even foreign key, okay, both are same only, but the syntax will be little different. Okay, it's related to foreign key only. References key things also. Okay, what references will do? Can anybody tell me? What references will do? If you want to restrict one values, okay, by specifying another table, okay, by referring another table, if the values are there in the first table, then only that those values only will be allowing to second value. Like that, if you want to restrict the things and all, means you have to go with the references key. Okay, simply you have to first you have to create the one parent table. Okay, so that will be referred in the child table. Okay, so first you should be having the one column, first you should be having the parent table. There you should be defined one primary key. Okay, if you want you can define in child class for that primary key by referencing that table name and column name. Okay, like that, master table and primary key column. Okay, references you can add a number of things, but primary key you cannot add more than one. That should be only one. Unique constraint, not null. You can add a number of constraints for the table, but primary key you cannot add more than one. That should be only one. Either it should be table level or it should be column level. But references you can add a number of constraints for the any field. Okay, you can add a number of relationships with one table. Okay, so this we can say inheritance things we can like that we can say, but it's not related to exactly that one, but just we are referring that parent table objects in the child table. Clear? Anybody have any doubts in the references key concept? If you are violating if you are not inserting the proper values which is not there in the master table, the if that record is inserting into child table, what error you will get? Hmm? You will be getting the integration constraint violation. Okay, anybody have in that any doubts in this, guys? Okay, let's start. foreign key. Okay, we'll take some more examples today, and we can insert the data to the with relationship. Yesterday also we have did same thing. Okay, let me show you yesterday's file. November, right? Yesterday also we have inserted the values with the references keyword. Okay, references keyword will be using only in the column level. Yeah, as a foreign key only, but it is a column level only. Okay, you cannot add at the table level. Okay, so we are having the data in the, this is parent table, right? Let me query the select star from table. You are having the 1 comma 2. Okay, let me insert few more records. Insert into values. Okay, what are all the values we can apply? 2 comma 2 record is inserted. Let me create that one. Yeah, we have inserted the rows. So what are all the values we are having in the child table? Just you can take this one. So we are having 1 comma 1 comma 3. Okay. Let me insert another record for this second table as well. That is the derived table. Okay. Let's 5 comma 6. Is it allow? Is this record will allow to insert? No, it won't allow. Why? Because yesterday we have created the value as a references. Okay, it's a, you are creating the relation foreign key. If the parent table is containing, then only the value will be inserted in the child table. Okay, so this value with 5, okay, is not there. Okay, sorry, this is we are referring in the okay, sorry, here, right? So we are referring the first column of the parent table. Okay, if the 5 is there in the parent table, then only value will be inserted in the child record, otherwise it won't allow. Okay, so if you are trying to insert the records means, if the value is there, then it will allow, otherwise it won't allow. Clear what is references key will do? But you can, if you want, you can add duplicates also, but it will allow. If you are creating any primary key or unique key for this table means, then it will be restricted. Otherwise, if the parent table is having the parent values and all means, it will be allowing in the child table as well. Clear till now? Anybody have any doubts with the references key? Okay. Next, we can take the some real-time example. Not real-time. It will be UMP DPT tables are there. Regularly, people will be using this one. Okay. So so many days we worked on. We did some query execution things and all. Okay. Can anybody tell me which one will be the primary parent table? Which one will be the child table? You are having data. Okay, select star from EMP. So by seeing this data, select the star from DPT. So here which one will be the parent table, which one will be the child table? Okay, how you are telling that employee table is parent table? Okay, So is there any 40th department details in the page, parent, EMP table? Hmm? Do we have 40th department's details in the parent EMP table? Hmm? Then how you are saying that one as a parent table? See, first of all, on which basis you are telling parent table? It is a parent table, it is a child table like that. And yes, okay, records are there. Means what is the relationship between EMP and DPT? Yes, see, department number is primary key. What is primary key? Yes, but if you are applying this one for the EMP table, you can see duplicates here. Is this primary key in the this table, department table? 10th department you are having 4 records, 20th department you are having 4 records, 30th department also you are having some 5 records or 6 records. Okay, is this is the primary key in this table? Then what is the meaning of that one? Just now I told. Okay, here table 1 is having 2 records. Okay, I can allow to insert the values to the child table duplicates. Okay, with one I can insert 3 records. Means what? This is the child record. But this value should be there in this one. First table, this value should be there. But if you want, you can allow, if you can insert the duplicates as well. Okay. So if you are observing the department table, is there any duplicates in this department number? Okay. Means this is the primary table. Okay, this we are referring in the EMP table. Of course, 40th department details are not there in the EMP table, but still you are having the unique records. If the value is there here, then only you can able to insert the records in the EMP table. If you are having the departments, then only you can able to add the employees in the department. Otherwise, if the department itself not there means how you can add the employees to the particular department? Yes or no? So department table is the parent table, EMP table is the child table. Okay, of course, EMP table also containing EMP numbers are unique key, primary key. That is okay. But whatever you are checking the relation that is there with department, that is unique values are there with the department table, not in the EMP table. In one department multiple people can be working, so that's why we can say this is the relational column for the particular EMP table. Clear? Don't confuse with see, by seeing the by providing the details, okay, by seeing the data, you should be aware, you should be come to know, okay, which one is the parent table, which one is the child table. Okay, next I am having select star from marks 11. Okay, this is the data. Okay, next select star from student level, right? In these two tables, which one will be the parent table? Which one will be the child table? This is the marks table. Okay, I am having around 19 records. Which one is student 11 table is having 8 records. Okay, in this one, which one will be the parent table? Which one will be the child table? Which one? Marks. Hmm. Which one will be the marks? How you are saying the student level is the parent table? Serial number, yes. You are having the relationship between marks and student table, which is student number. Here you are having the unique values in the student number, but if you are comparing the marks level table, maybe may not be. Okay, values are duplicated here. Okay, so if the student is existed in this table, then only you can able to say that for that student details, for that student only you will be having the your marks details and all. Okay, in this one student will be the parent table, marks will be the child table. Clear? So you should be aware of which you can able to easily identify the which one will be the master tables and which one will be the child tables. Okay. So first you should identify the which one is the relational column, where you are having the primary keys for that particular column, and where you are having the duplicates. Duplicates may be there, may not be there, but based upon that it will be derived at. Okay, so by in that way you have to identify the parent table and child table. Clear? Next, let's come to topic. Okay, so this theory part yesterday already have discussed. Foreign key and references key. What it will do? It will refer the parent table object, parent table values. Okay, so that will be derived in the child table. Okay, if the value is present in the parent table, values will be come to the child table and all. That's you are already clear, right? You can add a number of foreign keys. Okay, if you want to build this one, this Mars 11 table, if you want to add another one. Okay, so let's create one more table. Create table subjects. Okay, like that I want to create. So whatever subjects I am having, those details only will be using in the subject column. Like that I want to restrict. Okay, you can add that one. Okay, so how you can add? Simply you can specify the subject. Okay, subject will be varchar 2. Sir, no, because we are using the subject as a varchar 2 only, right here. Guys are understanding or not? If you want subject, okay, exam date, exam underscore date. If you want add, you can add any n number of columns. Okay, table is created. Okay, let me insert that records for that. Insert into subjects values. Okay, subject is what are all the subjects we are having in the table. Oracle, right? Oracle. Next, what is the date? We can give rank of. So we can give took care of. Directly. Took care of sys date, comma sys date, comma. In this one, we need to specify the date, right? So let's take sys date minus 10 days back. I will give this one. That is dd mon y. Let's insert in this record. Missing comma. Here I am missing. Okay, I need to put one bracket here. Okay, record is inserted. Next, what are all the things you need to take care? Subjects, Java and C, right? Java, C language. Okay, you are having the subject details as well. Subjects. Okay, so in subjects and mass table, which one will be the parent table? Hmm? I am having subject table, okay, and mass table. Guys, you people are become so calm. And student table and mass table. This is student and here subject. Here, which one will be the parent table in subjects and mass tables? Hello, am I audible? First of all, yeah. In Mars and subject tables, which one will be the parent table? Subjects and Mars 11 table. These two tables, I'm asking. If you are comparing this subject table, you are having the subject, right? Okay. Whatever values you are having in the subject table, that values are there in the Mars 11. Sir, no. So in these two tables, you can so by seeing this one, you are having duplicate in the subject. Okay, what I am trying to say here is that values, that number of columns is there, right? So that may not be one. Okay, it may be n number of things. Okay, you can add n number of foreign keys, n number of references keys. What you are doing here? You are referring the subject value from the subject tables. That's it. Okay, so if the subject is there in the subjects table, then only you can able to write the exam. Otherwise you cannot able to write the exam. You, of course, student table is already defined that you are treated as a subject, but still it is a subjects is the independent table. Okay, so this subjects table values we are referring in the marks table. Clear? Yeah, yeah. If they are given some three examples, three tables in this one, in these two tables, which one will be the parent table, which one will be the child table? If you are, if they want ask anybody to ask this question, means you have to identify that one where you are having the unique values. That values you have to consider as a parent table. Which one we are having duplicates, that you can consider as a parent child table. Okay, of course, here maybe in student also you may be having some other subject, okay, that is different, but still you are having the relationship common column, whatever you are having relational column, that you can identify and you can try to get the uniqueness. Okay, with that you can identify which one will be the parent table, which one will be the child table and all. Clear? Next, let's create one parent table and the child table. We can discuss that one. Okay. So take EMP table and create a DPT table only. Okay. So how you can define that one means first which one you need to create? You have to create the mandatorily which one you need to create. First you should be create the primary the parent table, right? Okay. So let me create that one. We can build that one. department underscore November, like that. I will create the table name. So in department, what are all the columns? Department number, D name, location. Okay. So what is the condition we have to follow? We should be having one primary key in the parent table. Then only you can able to refer in the child table. Otherwise, you cannot able to refer that one. Yes or no? Yeah, you can define your primary key at column level or you can define at your table level. Okay. So if you want to give multiple columns, you can give. If you want to give single column, you can give. That is fine. Okay. How you can define that table level? Just you have to specify at a constraint. Okay. Just if you want to give any name and all means, you can give that one, otherwise not required. This is not mandatory. If you are giving, it will be system will be taking your constraint name, otherwise system will take the by default name with the underscore constraint, like that it will take. Okay, just by specifying the constraint type you can create the table level constraint, primary key constraint. Okay, so department November is created. Next, what you have to do, you have to create the child table next, right? Okay, let's create the child table. So I am taking the EMP table only. Just I am for showcase purpose I am showing this one. Again tomorrow also I will explain this one only. Okay, there are different columns. I have taken EMP number, E name, job, manager, hire date, salary, commission, like that I am taking, and also relational column as a department number. Okay, this already primary key in the department November table. Okay, so that I want to refer in the child table. Okay, so how you can do that one, which one you need to specify, you need to specify the foreign key. Okay, if you want to define for this table any primary key, that you can define as a primary key, and for reference purpose you need to specify that foreign key. Okay, so how you can define for constraint, okay, references will be using in the column level, but if you want to specify at table level means like this you need to specify. If you want to give the constraint name you can give this one, otherwise if you don't want to give constraint names and all, doesn't matter. Okay, simply if you are passing this one means it will allow. Okay, so what you need to specify, you need to specify the foreign key, foreign space key, and which column you are creating, and references keyword, which table you are referring, that you need to specify, and that table under that you need to specify your relational column, whatever you are using, that you can specify. This must be your column name here. Okay, that whatever column you are using, that you can refer this one. In this one, anybody have any doubts? Foreign key, references key, both same. Okay, but references will be using at column level, this foreign key will be using in the table level. That's it, both are same only. But if you are defining at table level means you have to follow the syntax, foreign key of column name, and you need to specify the which table you are referring, like that you need to specify the things and all. Clear? Okay, table is already existed. Let me drop table. So now values are tables are created. Okay, one parent table and one child table. Okay, now I want to drop DPT November. Can I drop the table? Let me try. Yesterday also we discussed this one. Still we can do today also. Okay. Drop table. It is not allowing. You cannot drop the table directly. Parent table. Why? Because you are referring this table in the child table. Okay. If you are removing your all relations with, table, then only you can able to delete the table. Otherwise you cannot able to drop the table, parent table directly. Okay, if you want you can drop the emp table, that's fine, it will work. Okay, it will, you can able to drop, but parent table you cannot able to drop without removing your child. Okay, once you drop the table of table this one, then only you can able to drop the parent table. Okay, now table will be dropped. Okay, clear? Already I have shown, but I have shown with the records, but not with the table drop. Okay, let's insert the records for the DEPT table. Okay, let me take some insertion where I am having. Already I have, we are having that script. MPDPT. Okay, so how we can insert the data directly? Can take. Okay, just I am copying that one instead of writing. So I am inserting the data to the department table. Okay, so there is no restriction to insert the data in the department table. Yes or no? Can we insert without inserting the data in the parent table? Can we insert the EMP data? Because we are already defined relationship between EMP table and DAPT table. If the data is there in the DAPT table, then only it will allow to insert the data in the child table. Okay, let me insert the parent table record. Yesterday we already tried this one. Okay, I've inserted 3 records, 4 records. Okay, unique constraint violation. Okay, so I need to change the table name as well, right? You cannot insert the same records once again to the parent table because already primary key is defined at the parent table. Okay, even though if you are trying to record means you cannot able to insert this 40 already record is there, so it won't allow to insert the data. Next, so next what you have to do, you can insert the data to the EMP table. Yes or no? Guys, why users? This is already is well known table. Daily you are using this table for your practice. Okay, he in this one nothing is there simply. Okay, so here you can write that one. So I'm inserting the EMP values, EMP underscore November. Okay, this is with the 10th department. This is also with 10th department. Six. Okay. So I am inserting the data. So 190203. Okay, now go and check your data in the both the tables. DEPT underscore November. Here you are having the four records and child table you are having the 14 records. Okay, next, this already you know, you cannot insert the child records without having the parent records. Okay, same topic again repeating. Okay, here what I am trying to say here is, okay, just you can take this one is the new value, and here I am trying to insert the record with 50th department. Is it will allow? You cannot insert the record. Okay, because you don't have the depart number with 50, but you can able to insert the record with 40, because you are having the value in the parent table. Okay, so 40th department details you can able to insert. Okay, let insert the okay, you can delete the records from the EMP table. Okay, you are having some records in the 10th and 20th and 30th department, but you don't have records with 40th department. Okay, just I have roll back that one. That's why your record is not there here. Okay, so there is no record with 40th department. Okay, let me delete the records from the parent table. Delete from DEPT underscore November, where department number equal to some 10th. Can we delete the record? We cannot delete the record as well, because you are having the records with some records with 10th department. So that's why you cannot able to delete the records as well. Okay, but if you want, you can delete the records for the 40th department, because there is no dependency with this one. Okay, there is no dependency with this one. That's why you can able to delete the records from the 40th department. Clear? Guys, are you understanding or not? Yeah, if you are having any dependency, you cannot able to delete the records, or even if you cannot able to update the keys. You can able to update the other columns, but key columns you cannot update that one. Okay, if you want to do delete without having any relation, okay, without having any dependency, okay, independently I want to delete the records from parent table means, you have to use the one keyword, that is delete cascade. Okay, that you have to define at the table level. Okay, if you are defining at table level means, you can able to delete the records. Okay, let me show you. There is a multiple option: on delete cascade and on delete sentinel, like that. Okay, for that you need to specify the, at the time of table creation only you need to specify that. Okay, then if you are defining like that means, automatically data will be deleted from child table as well, or by specifying, by making the values as a null, you can able to delete the records without deleting the records in the child table. Okay, child table records you can delete independently. Okay, you are having select star from emp underscore November. Okay, so you are having the records. If you want, you can delete the records here for 10th department. Delete from emp underscore now, where department number equal to some 10. Okay, this you can able to do. Okay, once you deleted the records in the child table, then you can able to delete the record from parent table as well. Okay, because there is no dependency, we have removed the data from the parent table also, child table, right? Guys, are you confusing? If you are deleting the records in the child table, okay, on particular group, that record will be you can able to delete in the child record once you are deleting the dependency records and all. Otherwise you cannot able to delete the records in the parent table. Okay, still if you want to delete the parent table records without considering child tables and all, means you have to define your uh, tables. Okay, at the time of table creation you have to specify your child table on delete cascade is null, like that you need to specify that one. Okay, so let me recreate the table. Okay, so how you can do that one means you need to specify that table definition. Okay, on delete cascade null or on delete set null, like that you have to define at the table level. Okay, you need to specify this keyword after references. Okay, after references you need to specify this one. Yeah, yes, yes, tell me. We can use that one. For that we need to use the alter statements. Okay, that I will tell you. Now I am showing with everything with the table definition only. I will explain the constraint, all the constraint topic with alter. Okay, it is the physical storage, right? Physically we are maintaining the keys and all. Okay, if you are doing everything as a physical, you can able to change that one structure, table structure. Okay, that is we can say alter. How we can do that structure, changing the structures and all with alter command only. Yes or no? Okay, so that we can add in the alter. I will tell you later that one. Just for understanding purpose, we can define at the time of creation of the table itself. Okay, child table. Okay, let me drop the table. Child table emp underscore November, where I am writing. Okay, independently we can drop the child table and all. So how you can define, just change the your table name, that's it. Okay, so here you need to specify the on delete cascade. Okay, if you are specifying like this, okay, you can able to delete the records without considering the child records. Okay, same table I am recreating. Now I will execute same insert statements once again. Okay, 14 records are inserted. Let me query. Select star from emp underscore number. Okay, so we are having 14 records. Some three records are missing. Don't ignore that one. Okay, I guess somewhere it's missing insertion. Okay, so I want to delete the records. Okay, I missed the 10th department details because already I have removed the data for the 10th department. That's why it is not allowing, because we are having the relationship between department table, right? So that data is not there. That's why it is showing the error. It not inserted the records. Okay, so now it will allow to insert the 10th department details and all. Okay, let me insert noise once again. If the values are there, it will be inserted. Otherwise, errors will come. Okay. Now you can check your table data. You will be having 14 records. Okay, now so what I do, we can delete the records parent table as well. If you are defining the on delete cascade, what will happen? Let's see. Delete from dept underscore now, where department number equal to 10th, okay, or 20th, whatever thing you want, you can delete. Okay, so without removing the child records, now I can able to delete the records in the parent table. Let's see what will happen in the child table. Select star from emp underscore November. So there is no 20th table, 20th department details. Okay, automatically child records will get delete in the table, child table. Okay, because you are specifying on delete cascade. What it will do now, if you are removing the parent record, if you are deleting the parent table records, automatically dependent records in the child table will be deleted. Okay, if you are defining any table, if wherever you are referring that parent table now, all the places that dependency records will be deleted. Clear? This is the on delete cascade. Okay, I don't want to delete all the records. Okay, let me roll back. Okay, anyway I have to create. Okay, so let it be. I don't want to delete the child record. I want to make, if any dependencies are there, that I want to make null values. Okay, the department numbers I want to make null values, rest of the things as it is. Okay, I don't want to delete any records from the child tables, but still I want to delete the parent record. You can do, but you can make that value as a null. On delete set null, you need to specify that one. Okay, let me recreate the table. So you can drop the table. Okay, so same table, instead of on delete cascade, you can specify the on delete set null. You need to use the keyword set null. Okay, with this one you can able to keep the records in the child table. Okay, that's where you are having the values from here. Let me query. Select star from ept underscore November. So you are having the three records. One record is missing. Okay, let me insert that one. Which one is missing? 20th department, right? So 20th department, I will take from here. But still, okay, I am having the records in the parent table all, and select star from emp underscore November. So you can check you are having some records. Okay, because 20th department details are not there. That's why earlier not having we are not inserted. Let me reinsert the data. Okay, so we are having 14 records. Okay, now I want to delete the 20th department details in the department table. How you can delete from dept underscore November, where department number equal to 20. Okay, what will happen? Earlier we have used the on delete cascade. With that, what happened? All the child records got removed. But now we have changed that option to the on delete set null. Okay, let's see what will happen. Okay, so we are removing the data from the child table, department number. Okay, so we have removed. Go and check your parent table, sorry, child table. So your values will become null. Okay, automatically your values will be updated as a backend. It is the null values. Clear? Okay, this is the on delete set null on delete cascade. Means if you want to delete the child record, parent record without considering child records, means you have to set the value as a on delete cascade. Okay, I don't want to delete a child records at all. Still, I want to delete the parent records, means at least you have to make the on delete set null. Okay, if you are making that one, means you your values will be whatever department. Okay, whatever records you are deleting from the parent table, that particular key values will become null values in the child table if you are making the on delete set null in the table definition. Clear? Anybody have any doubts in the on delete set null, on delete cascade? Everybody is clear? Okay, let me take one example. Our previous batch students, I told same example. Okay, please listen carefully. Today I will explain only requirement only. Okay, you have to take care of table creation and you have to take care of insertion tab for each and every table insertion, and you have to take care of deletion as well, deletion and updation. Okay, all the DML operations. At least you should be right. You should be having some 8 records in the each table. Okay, so everybody knows Amazon website, right? Amazon or Flipkart. Okay, what are all the possible tables with that? Can anybody tell me? Yes. Okay. Then let me show you what. Yes. Okay. So Amazon site only will open. Okay. By seeing this one, your profile, you will be having the ignore this one. Okay. You will be having the order details. Okay. So much you know. Okay. Don't worry. So you will be having the what are all the possible tables here? Order details. Yes or no? And what all the things address you should be having? Yes or no? You should be having address to deliver the things and all. Okay, so let me open my profile. Okay, you are having some order table, and inside that your profile table you are having the some address details. Okay, so my addresses means you can add a number of addresses here. Yes or no? Okay, and also you will be having some other features as well. Okay, you will billing information, manage addresses, pan card information. Okay, if you are having any payments. Okay, either you can do with gift cards, or you can use with UPI, or you can use with debit card details. Okay, and if you are having any coupons and all, you can apply this one. Okay, you will get some notifications. Notifications means suggestions, things and all. Okay, reviews. So for all the details you will be having separate tables. Yes or no? Inside that order table there will be lot of features. Okay, product ID, how much you have purchased. Okay, what is the status of order, where it is, that one. Okay, if you are means if you are purchasing one product means it will be having some product price. Okay, like that so many columns you can consider. Okay, let me take few example in that one. Okay, one table, that is order table. Okay, let me write that one as a order table. So which, if you want to make order, what are all the things you should be having? Customer customer should be having, right? First of all, it is the primary object. If there is no customer, then what is the use of Amazon site and seller? You should be having customer. Yes or no? First priority object would be this one. Next, you should be having address, that you know, because you have to deliver the particular place. Okay. Next, product you should be having. Otherwise, you cannot deliver anything. Okay. So what you have to do? It is also independent object. Product details you will be having. Next, payment methods. Okay, how if without payment you cannot place any orders and all. Okay, so what you have to do, you can add payment method as well. So so these are all the tables. So next, in orders invoice, can anybody tell me what are all the possible columns? If you open any invoice here, so somewhere you will be having invoice, right? Yes, download invoice. Okay, it is time is completed. Okay, so you will be having the address details. Okay, so what is the order id, invoice number? Okay, when you are placed that one. Okay, when invoice is generated, when invoice order places means you are, when you are order placing the order, invoice generation when will happen? Once your order is confirmed, then only invoice will be generated. Yes or no? And if you are having any pawn details and all, you can specify that one. And you should be having some shipping address, and who is selling that things and all. Okay, who will take care of means your who is the seller details. Okay, billing address. Okay, like that you will be having some different fields. Down, what are all the things you are having? You are having product details. Okay, what is the description? Okay, what are all the things it will be considered here? Okay, how many products you are purchasing? Okay, so total how much amount you are on the top of product, and how much discount you are getting. Okay, in that what is the taxable value? Okay, you can ignore tax details and all, but you should be having some total amount. Okay, how you are calculating the total? If let's assume you are placing n number of items, what will happen here? So all the item details will be coming in the end. Okay, so of course there are so many logos will come, details, address details and all, seller address details, all the things will be having. So what are all the possible values it's mandatory to generate for this table? Can anybody tell me? It is not with the single table. Okay, you cannot store your order details everything in the single table. What you can do now, simply they will store address id in the order table. Okay, just you can refer that one, where that value will be having address table, that should be having, then only you can able to access that one, otherwise you cannot access. And also you should be having some billing address. Okay, that also you should register in the your address table. And product details should be registered in the product table. Okay, product description and all. That will also will be there in the product table. How much quantity, this specific to your order table. Okay, you cannot differ that one. Okay, in that product table you will be having the product id and product price. Okay, unit quantity, unit price we can say, for each and every item how much price it will be. Okay, and what will be the cost, so what will be the discount, so for each, for product to product it may vary. Okay, So that will be there in the product table. So in that also it will be their taxable amount, GST, that things and all. You can ignore this one. So but here you are calculating that one number of products into your unit price. Okay, so that you are calculating as a total sum you are doing here on top of this order. Okay, so totally how many tables you are considering? Customer ID. Okay, you have to specify your name, things and all, right? So that you have to specify that one. Okay, so let me add one by one field. Okay, so if you are having customer ID, then only you can able to access the customer details in the order table. Okay, so you should be having the customer ID, that should be number. So that you can refer here, customer ID number. Next, what are all the things you should be having? Customer name. Okay, you have to specify that IDs and all. Okay, all the times customer name will be, it's too much lengthy. Instead of storing their complete details and all, simply you can refer that customer ID. By joining these tables you can get the customer name details and all. Okay, so simply what you can do, your details will be saved in separately, just you can refer the customer ID here. Okay, so this should be varchar 2, some 100 like that, you can define that one. Next, what are all the possible things? Customer. Okay, one default address you should be refer. Okay, you will be having some different addresses, but you should be having some different addresses. Okay, that address should be there in your address table. Okay, simply what you can do, you can specify that one. Okay, address ID. Okay, default address ID you can refer means you will be having that house number and street name, everything you can refer from the address table. Okay, that you can refer as a number. Next, default method, payment method. Okay, default payment method. So by default you can specify as a cash or something, that is your choice, where care to of something. Okay, like that you can add anything here, customer details and all. Okay, next, what is the possible columns in the address table? You should be having address ID. Okay, ADR ID. You should be having right that column in the order table. Then only you can able to place the order. Otherwise, you cannot add that one. Okay, that should be number. Next, in each and particular ID, address type. Next, next address. The address you can define as a some where cat to only. You can define some thousand characters. Okay, because inside that one you will be having house number and flat details and street name, mandal, district, everything you will be having that one. Okay, so the details will be having. Okay, so and also you should, for each and customer will be different, right? So you should be refer that customer ID in the address table. Okay, that also you can refer here, customer ID. So from these two tables, what are all the fields you will get here? You will be getting the address ID. That should be number. Next, address type for the particular customer, not for other. That is their capital. Next, next possible table is what? Payment. Okay, you should be having the payment. Each customer will be having some different payments. Okay, he will be having some coupon codes. Okay, and he has some UPI numbers, some debit cards, some credit cards. Okay, like that he will be having some different, he will be using the different methods. So what are all the possible columns here? Payment ID. Okay, pay ID. and that will be number. Next, customer ID. You should be referred from the customer table. Customer number. Next, payment method. That you can define as a varchar 2. Yeah, of course, default options will be saved here, but still you can use that one. Okay, so you can as by default you can specify default method as a some UPI. Okay, that you can define this one, but still each and every customer you will be having different payment methods. Okay, like credit card, debit card details you can add in the payment details. Okay, so that payment method also you will be referring here. Payment method. Next, what are all the possible things? Product details you want, right? So product ID. Product ID is the number type. Next, product name. Guys, you people are so calm. Why? Next, product price will be there here only, right? So that you can say unit price. Next, discount. Each and every product discount will be varying, right? So you can add discount. So that will be percentage, right? Some you can give some number. Next, what are all the possible things? Product description already we have written. Okay, product ID you can write that one. Customer ID not required. It is independent, right? Okay, so the details will be comes under order table. Okay, so now you should be having the custom product ID. Okay, if you are referring that one means you can able to access the easily product name as well. Okay, that unit price and all. Okay, anyway this is not mandatory for generating the things and all. Okay, but you should be having that these details. Next, discount you can runtime you can calculate that one. If you know that product ID you can able to access these columns. Okay, if you know the customer you can able to access the customer name and default address, default payment methods and all you can able to access. If you know address ID and customer ID, okay, then only you can able to access the address for the particular customer, otherwise it will be difficult. Okay, so here combination is unique key is what for this one? Customer ID and address ID, two primary key. Okay, two columns will be the primary key. Okay, address ID 123 like that you can define, and customer ID you can define 1001 like that you can define something. Okay, for each and every customer. Okay, let's assume your customer is having four addresses means address ID start with 1234. Next customer he has three addresses only. Okay, customer ID address ID should be three. Okay, 123 like that I want to define. Okay, so I will give possible values also, and also same way. Okay, for each and customer ID you will be having some different IDs. One is for UPI IDs, two for okay, you can define two as a payment method as a debit card. Okay, you can store that value, and that IDs you can store in the payment method, but ID number you can refer the which one. Okay, payment method type you can take this one. Next, independent columns for the order tables. What are the things? Order ID. Okay. Order ID is number. It is auto-generated value, right? Yes or no? Okay. Next, what are all the possible things? Just now we have shown. Yeah, I want total amount also. Okay, and also quantity is independent to this one. Sir, no. Quantity is number. If you are ordering 10 items means unit price is 5 rupees and discount is 20% means the cost will become 4 and you are placing 100 items, so 400 amount will become. Okay, so auto generated value is total. Okay, so this I am not considering. Ignore this taxable things and all. And of course you will be having seller address details and all. Okay, if you want you can add that seller details as well. Seller details. So what are all the possible things here? Seller ID. That will be number. If you are referring that seller ID, here means you can able to access the seller details as well. Sir, no. So here seller name, that should be where careful, and seller address as well, right? So that should be what? Address ID, seller default address. Okay, address ID, this one. So where you will store the address, seller address details at all. Yeah, address table only you can able to store or not. Of course, if you want customer ID, you can take these two values. Okay, so this table will be refer customer table and seller details as well. Okay, like that you can build. You can try to do that one. Okay, so address ID, seller ID, address ID is address ID. Okay, here customer address ID is address ID. Okay, default addresses. I am telling. If you want, you can refer this one, seller ID. If you are having customer ID, no need to give seller ID. If you are giving seller ID, don't give customer ID. Sir, no. Means this table is linking with two tables. Okay, let me add the relationship. Okay, next product ID you can refer here. Next payment ID, but it will be different to customer. Okay, so you should be refer two columns here. Payment ID. Okay, so to get the payment method you should be refer the payment ID. Okay, and customer ID as well. Okay, and here from customer to payment, what is the condition? Customer ID only, right? So you will be having this one as well. Next, mm, these are all the possible things. Okay, so here you are generate along with that one, you should be you should be able to generate the other columns as well, that is total. That should be number and invoice sum. That should be number. Okay, if you want you can add seller address ID as well. Tomorrow just you can insert the values for this table. I will tell you the relationships and how you can do the insertion, updation, deletion you can do. Okay, I will query different details with these tables. Okay, Anybody have any doubts? Okay, let me write possible values for this one. Customer table. Customer table. Okay. Customer ID, customer name, right? Okay, I will give one name. Okay, customer ID. I want to give generate the IDs as a one. Okay, you can use the sequences for this one. IDs. Okay, assignment will be for ID columns, not only here, for all ID columns. Use the sequences. Okay, you can generate sequence and customer name. Okay, you can write any name and default address ID is billing. Okay, so I will write some Marthalli like that. You should be insert some proper data. Otherwise, tomorrow will take lot of time. Okay, at least you can try to insert the all the tables. Okay, with relationships. I'm telling. Okay, Marthalli and default payment method is UPI. Or you can add the default method. You can add the your payment ID. Okay, so like that you can add here. Here also you can add the address ID. That is of one. Okay, so value is one. That refers to the address table. Okay, so this one is referring to the address table. This one is referring to the your payment table. Okay, like that you can add. Next, like that you can add a number of rows. Okay, some 10 rows you can add. Customer ID should be unique, right? Because it's a primary table. Okay, you can add any names here. Okay, I don't give, and you can add default address IDs and all. Okay, so these are all the possible values for the customer table. Next, address table. Yes, customer table is a parent table. Okay, this is the most child table. Okay, from here also you are referring that one. Sir, no. Seller ID is referring here. Okay, from each and every table you are referring this columns. Okay, means this is the child most table. If you want to define, you should be having the records in the. These are all the tables. Okay, you should be having the records in the payment. You should be having the address details. You should be having the customer details. Okay, you should be having the product details. Okay, all the things you should be having here. Okay, here independently it is generating here is only this table, this number, and this invoice sum and total number, and here this four columns only independent to the order table. Rest of the all things would be referring to the where any one of the table you are referring. Okay, only four columns is independent to the order table. Rest of the things should be referred from other tables. Clear? Next, address table. You will be having. Okay, either here my condition is either customer ID should be having or seller ID should be having. Okay, we have either ID and address ID. Okay, this is one combination. Or what you need to do? ID address ID comma seller address, right? Seller ID, seller ID and address ID. It means what you have to do. You need to create the constraint. Okay, unique constraint, not the foreign key. Okay, if you want to create the foreign key, what will happen? It should not allow null values for the customer ID or seller ID. Any one of the combination should be having. So you can create two unique keys for the address table. One is customer ID and address ID. Okay, this is the one combination and this is the one combination. Okay, and ID should be 1 2 3 4 like that. Okay, let me write address ID columns. Address ID column should be 1 2 3 4. Okay, like that you can add. Next column is address type. Okay, address type would be billing or shipping. Two address type. I need to add the values. That's it. For this one, I will give 2 days time. Don't forget the things. Okay, address any. Okay, you can add door number along with the door number. Okay, street. If you want, you can add the as a columns as well. Instead of single column, you can add as a multiple columns. Okay, street, village, mandal, and district. Okay, or city and state, comma pin. Okay, like that you can add anything. If you want, you can add as a columns or you can add as a address, single column, and you can specify that. And customer ID, it should be refer from the customer table. Okay, refer the customer table. Next, seller ID, refer from the seller table. Okay, this is the address table. So what are all the independent tables now? Before that one, you should be having the seller table as well, right? Before defining the customer address table, you should be having the seller table also, right? Okay, here, what are all the possible things? Seller ID and seller name and seller address ID. Okay. So what you can, okay, seller address ID means it is the default address. Okay. So customer number, not customer. This is the seller, right? So seller ID. So it should start with some 2001. Okay. 2002. You can use the sequences for each and every IDs. Okay. 2003. So this will be independent. And next, seller ID and seller name. Okay, you can use any cloud, any company names you can use. Okay, like that you can use any cloud seller names and all. Seller address ID, this is default. Okay, you can add default address ID. Okay, I forgot to add here. Okay, here also this is default address ID, default payment method. Okay, so that you can just, it is the column. Okay, let me write that column names as well. This is the cust ID. Next column is cust name. Next, default address ID and default payment ID. Okay, these are all the 4 columns here. Customer ID is starting with like this, and customer name any you can give, and default address ID and customer payment ID. Okay, here also seller default address ID as some 1 like that, one or two, like that, you can give any values. Okay, default address IDs. So now you are clear with the three tables. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, and also if you want to create the payment with payment table, you should be having the customer table. Okay, so that also you can create payment table. What are all the columns things you are having? Payment IDs. Okay, that should be payment ID. Pay IDs is one two three, like that only. Okay, payment customer ID. Okay, customer ID should be in queue. Okay, here what is the combination? Customer ID and payment ID. Okay, is the combination. Okay, if customer ID is 123, customer ID is customer should be having multiple values. Okay, for the customer table. If you are able to create these tables with data, you will be very familiar with all insertions, all constraints, all indexes. Okay, you can answer any question if you are able to insert and delete the records from these tables. Next, what is this one? Another one, payment, right? Payment method. Payment method. Values are UPI, debit card, credit card. Okay. Next, pay and delivery. Okay. Okay, like that, four values will be having, maximum four IDs will be having in the this one. So if you are using for one customer, you can insert n number of records for this table. Clear? Next, now we are having four records. Next, one more independent table is what? Product. This is not the independent table because you are referring the customer table. This is independent table, this is independent table, and product is also independent table. Okay, so product. So what are all the columns here? It is also sequence, right? It is not referring this one. Okay, so product ID. It is the use sequence. Start with some 1001, like that. Okay, so for each and every product ID you will be having some number and product name. Okay, let's take some stationery items. Okay, some pen, pencil, compass, bag, notebook. Okay, like that you can add n number of items. Okay, unit price also you can give. Okay, so that will be unit prices. Let's take pen price is 10 and pencil price is 5 and compass is some 50 rupees and bag is some 200 rupees and notebook is some 40 rupees. Okay, let me add discount as well. So for particular wheel, discount is some 10%. Okay, so 10% means what? This become 9 rupees. Yes or no? Like that you can add any fields. Okay, this I don't have any discount for the bag. Okay, let me add sorry, this one is for compass, right? 0%. Okay, let me add some 5% for the bag, and you can add the notebook for 10%. Okay, So like that you can add the discounts as well. Next, what are all the possible? Okay, so these are all the fields for the product table. Next will be order table. So what are all the things? Independent columns are what? First, order id. Okay, you can create the first field as a order id. Okay, here I have written last, but you can add the sequence as a one, this one. Okay, next, this is the invoice number 2. Okay, order id is number, it is sequence. Okay, you can use the sequence for this one. Sequence start with some 9001. Okay, so for each and every order will be different. Okay, next, quantity. Okay, quantity is right. Okay, let me add some pens, 5. Okay, pencils, some 6. Okay, compass, 2. Okay, bag, 1. Next, notebooks, some 10 notebooks, you can add this one. Okay, so rest of the things are refer from the different table. Okay, yeah, invoice and total. Okay, invoice sum you can ignore, and total number it will be calculated. Okay, rest of the records you can refer from the different table. Okay, let me save this diagram. I will be sending the sample data. Okay, tomorrow you can insert the all the records. At least you can create the table and you can insert the data for these tables. Okay, so I want here 5 for 5 customers. Okay, 5 customer details and number of orders for each customer. You can change the number of okay, uh, 1 to 6 orders you can place for each customer. Means you can add for one customer 1, for second customer 2, or like that you can add a number of orders for the different customers. Okay, I will be asking so many questions on this tables. Okay, once you created the table, I will ask the so many questions to write the queries and all, so that it will be cover all the joins, all the constraints, all the sub queries. Okay, it will cover all the topics with this example. That's why I am giving this assignment to you. Okay, you can do insert, I will ask the so many questions. Next, okay, discounts also already I am having, and you can place the different addresses to delivery. Okay, so you can add a number of addresses, means you can add the address some 1 to 4. Okay, so by specifying that address id, you can insert the records to the particular customer. Okay, so that you can add here. And what are all the things here? You can use different payments method as well for each and different orders. If you are able to create the table, okay, with this data, you can easily understood the data, and you can able to write the queries as well. Okay, Let me ping this all the details. Okay, you can create the table and insert the data. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm stopping.